Ham Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, the sports book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. KM Radio, go to KM Radio. Press play, 24 hours a day of great programming. Don't forget to check out our people. J Party on the Drive, 3 to 6 every day at KM, Monday through Friday. A lot to talk about. Hard to fit it all in. We had the draft. Who's the big winners? Who do you think are who won number one? Cal? Right?
Yep, Caleb went number one to Chicago.
Yep.
Despite the controversy, we got Jalen Daniels. He went second to the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Drake May went to the Patriots. They got the quarterback in there. So they got Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State, son of the post receiver Marvin Harrison, went to Arizona. So they gonna try to put him with Kyler Murray and see what can happen there. Joe Alt
something.
Yeah, because they need a lot over there. At number 5, it was Joe Alt, offensive tackle. He went to the Chargers. So Jim Harbaugh is he's slowly building that thing, and he's building it young. So and Malik Neighbors, the star receiver from LSU,
right?
He went to the New York Giants.
Okay.
So maybe he can help Daniel Jones a little bit. At number 6, oh no, I just did number 6. Offensive tackle from Alabama, J.C. Latham, went to the Tennessee Titans, which is a good move for them.
Yep.
Michael Penix Jr. Now this was the shocker. This was the shocker of the night. Michael Penix Jr., the Washington star, he went to the Atlanta Falcons. So they give Kirk Cousins, they give Kirk Cousins all this money. And then they get his predecessor, if you will, or his the next guy up. He goes in there and he got drafted at number 8. We got Rome Odunze, wide receiver from Washington. He went to Chicago. So now you got Caleb Williams and you got Odunze. So now you got your quarterback wide receiver duo.
Right.
JJ McCarthy went to the Minnesota Vikings. Now that's who I thought that New England was going to pick, but they picked Drake May. So McCarthy went to the Vikings as quarterback.
And JJ came from
Michigan.
Michigan. He was quarterback.
He was in Michigan.
Yeah, some people spoke highly of him, and some people thought he was a good quarterback. And there were some people that just said that he's never really been tested because they had such a good defense and a running game, and and so he never, so he didn't have to win the game. But I think he'll be a good quarterback. Great quarterback, I don't know, but I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, as long as he has like the setup that he have, if he had setup that he had in Michigan, if they try to keep that same narrative, he'll work out a long time for him.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The offensive tackle. Now y'all got it. Chat and out there on KM Radio, y'all got to work with me because this is a hard
hard name.
Alumuyiwa Bashanu, offensive tackle for Penn State. He went to the Jets, so the Jets did get an offensive tackle to help with Aaron Rodgers. So Denver picked Bo Nix out of Oregon at number 12, quarterback. The Raiders got the tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia, the outstanding tight end. That's going to help them out a lot. And the Saints, they picked at number 14. They got the offensive tackle from Oregon State, Talise Fuaga, which is a good pickup for them because David Carr needs time to throw the football. Byron Murphy II, defensive tackle out of Texas, went to Seattle. Dallas Turner, he's the edge rusher from Alabama, went to Minnesota to help out on that defense. Amarius Mims, offensive tackle from Georgia, he went to the Bengals. So that's going to help. That's going to help them out. And
he's another big guy. Big guy.
Yeah. And you got Jared Verse. He's the edge rusher from Florida State. He went to the Rams. I guess that's going to replace the retired defensive end,
Right.
and we got Troy Fontenot, offensive tackle from Washington from Washington, who went to the Pittsburgh Steelers to help out Russ and Justin Fields when he comes in. The Miami Dolphins at number 21, they picked up an edge rusher from Penn State, Top Robinson. Philadelphia Eagles picked up Quinyon Mitchell. He's quarterback from Toledo because they've had issues in their secondary, so that was a good pickup. Harry and Arnold went cornerback from Alabama, went to the Detroit Lions. Jordan Morgan from Arizona, he's offensive lineman. He went to the Green Bay Packers, and they're going to need him. That was a good pickup. Tampa Bay Buccaneers pick up Graham Barton from Duke. He's a center. The defensive end Darius Robinson from Missouri went to Arizona Cardinals. Xavier Worthy, the outstanding wide receiver, small but outstanding receiver from Texas, went to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Patrick Mahomes going to have a field day. They got some good stuff. Now,
man, they are. They are.
Man. So they basically got two Tyreek Hills, pretty much. I'm not going to say that I'm just saying speed wise. Yes. So this is going to be a fun season for them. All right. Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Dallas Cowboys, they selected him. Right. Nate Wiggins, the cornerback from Clemson, went to the Baltimore Ravens. At 31, Ricky Pearsall, his wide receiver from Florida, he went to the 49ers. And rounding out the first round, Xavier Leggetti, a wide receiver out of South Carolina, went to the Carolina Panthers. So he kind of stayed close to home. That's the first round. That's the first pick of all 32 teams in the NFL. Some hits, some misses. The shocker, of course, was Penix to the Atlanta Falcons, but people got to understand that Kirk Cousins came off of Achilles tear. So,
Kirk got $100 million, correct?
He got $100 million. Was it 180 or 100?
I have to look it up. I can't.
It was $100 million, and I think 86 of it was guaranteed. If I'm not mistaken.
All right, but if you think about it, you get 4 years out of him,
right?
And you got this young quarterback underneath him. Shoot, yeah. You're not really paying a lot for a quarterback if you look at it like that.
Right.
Because you're paying $25 million a year for your starter, and you got a guy you're paying a couple $1 million a year. So you're coming out cheaper than. I mean, think about it. You can get 2 Kirk Cousins and a number 1 pick behind them. You can get 2 of them, or you can have 1 Dak Prescott. Makes you think. $60 million a year.
It makes you think.
Yes,
because also, with Kirk Cousins, you pretty much know where you stand with Kirk Cousins. You're going to make it to the playoffs if your team is intact. You're going to make it to the playoffs. Are you going to make it to the big dance? Maybe not. But you are guaranteed to make it to the playoffs. And that is an excellent way to bring your new quarterback in, let him sit like Jordan Love did, let him sit behind the vet, learn how to be an NFL quarterback first. So when you hit the field, you're primed and you're ready to go. Because I think the talent is there for Penix, even though he wasn't drafted that high. I think he was the dark horse. I think the talent is there, but learning how fast things switch from college to pro, if you get a chance to sit like they used to back in the day, you had a chance to sit. But he's going to get that chance. He's going to get the opportunity to learn. So when he hits the field, he's going to be clicking. And with Kirk Cousins welcoming him in and showing him the ropes, that's a good thing, because a lot of quarterbacks don't even want their predecessor or the person that's going to eventually take your job. You really don't want to show them nothing.
Well, everything I heard about, one thing that I heard about Kirk Cousins is his teammates really like him.
Yes,
he's a family guy. I mean, He's another one of the Tom Brady saving puppies, feeding the children. I mean, he's just one of those guys, and
Right.
everybody, and so he's kind of a nurturing guy. So he'll show the young quarterback all what he has, all what he knows, and it should be a good experience.
Right.
And I think they're in a good position as far as quarterback wise. And I said this the other day. Some people criticize it. I really think Pittsburgh, they got off Pittsburgh was like, oh man, Wilson, you're right. But what they're paying for Wilson, a couple $1,000,000, because the other
$2 million.
money, yeah, the other money is Denver's paying it, and then you
Right.
have this young stud underneath them that you're paying cheap.
Right. I just think, and I really think, yeah, and Tony, I really think that Justin Fields is going to work out in Pittsburgh.
I do
because
too. I do.
because they have the patience to let him grow. And I know they really wanted Kenny Pickett to be that guy. He just wasn't talented enough.
Right. So I mean, sometimes things work out. But going into basketball, a lot of money to be made over the weekend. Before we get into to that, like I always tell you guys, if you guys are you're going to do this sports betting thing. I've been, I talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of big guys that gamble pretty heavy. You got to do some of your research. You can change, one thing with these apps, you can change the spread, changes your money line, but there's a lot of things you can do. Let's talk about the Suns. The Timberwolves, I rode the whole way, made money with them the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
The Suns, where does KD go? Where does Booker go? Does Booker go anywhere?
Right. The Suns are in a real predicament right now because I think KD. I don't think he's going anywhere because he's moved from house to house, trying to get that chip, and it didn't pan out from OKC to Golden State to Brooklyn to Phoenix, and he's got him with the Warriors, but where else is there to go where people don't have to give up the farm to get him?
Right.
So the best thing for them to do is run it back because they're stuck with Bradley Beal's contract. He has a no trade clause in here, and his money's guaranteed.
Right.
So they're pretty much stuck right now. They've really put themselves in a difficult situation. So the best thing for them to do, I guess, is just run back with what they have and just hope for the best. But they're going to have to get big to deal with the Minnesotas and the Sacramentos of the world.
Minnesota,
and you still have to go through that.
Yes, in Minnesota, I give a lot of credit to young team. And again, I do my soapbox. Mm-hmm. Same thing when the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Kansas City won when the Bucks won, and now you got a good team. It spreads it. I know some people don't like that, but you're spreading the basketball to where it's not always the same. And so now you got a really good team in Minnesota. Catches attention, catches followers, brings more attention to the game. The Bucks and the Pacers. My hats are up. My hats are off to the Pacers. They're up 3-1. Didn't really see this coming. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think they were going to get swept, but I didn't really see. I didn't see them. I didn't see it coming on this. What's your thoughts?
I'm right there with you, but there's too many injuries. Too many injuries. You got Giannis hurt. Yeah. Dame's hurt now. Bobby Portis is out. That's the nucleus. The nucleus is gone. So now it's just a bunch of electrons just floating around, not knowing what to do. Don't have the experience. So
that's true.
They're gonna Indiana, which is Indiana plays like the state. Hard nosed, blue collar, tough.
Yeah.
So, they play just like the state. So with all those injuries, that's just it's not going to be good. I don't see Milwaukee coming out of this, And of course, uh, I'll say what 35% of that is going to be on Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
Because he can't get, regardless, he can't get over that hump.
Yeah. A lot of injuries, like you said. And then again, that goes back to watching your spreads, knowing the injuries, making the bet going forward. Going forward on that. The Clippers and the Mavs. This is tied up. This series is pretty
This is
equal.
gonna be good series. Uh, good series tied 2-2. Excellent. Now, remember we said that the beard had to show up.
We did
Not
say that,
not
yes.
yeah. Yeah. James Harden, there's no room for him as long as he's playing like he's playing now. And I think they could win if they get just a little bit more, because even Paul George showed up as playoff heat.
Right.
Can we see that every game? We got to see that every game from here on out throughout the playoffs for me, to be convinced that they can go, because they have the talent to do it. I don't think they could beat Denver without Kawhi, but with those two playing lights out, and we get some double figures from that bench and from Russ. If Russ can give them double figures in the bench, along with James and PG in double digits, defensively, I mean, there's only so much you can do with Jokic. But Jamal Murray's, we got to see what his injury is going to be like. We'll talk about them in the Lakers in a second. But I believe that's Denver's the team to go. Now, the Clippers can make it there if they play like they played last night throughout the rest of the series. I know it's gonna be tough. There's a lot to demand from them guys, but
Yep.
yeah, I think Kawhi knee is gone. I think they've done all they can do with it now, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not a physician. I'm not a doctor. Not even a sports medicine person. But I just think that you can't go back in there. There's only so many times you can go in there without it, without something
Oh no.
happening. Yeah. So
I agree. So let me ask you this: the Pelicans.
hmm,
I mean, just not really, not there. Not as good as. I'm not saying that we thought they were. They were great, but I thought maybe they could win one.
yeah.
One.
At least with the Pelicans go as Zion go. If Zion's
Yeah.
on and if Zion plays, then they're good to go. But if they can't get if they stifle Zion or hold him down to where he's uncomfortable, then they're going to run into some problems. I think that the Thunder are better. I think they are a better team, but the Pelicans are more experienced team. They have some experience in playoffs, and
Yeah.
guys like and although and I and most for Brandon Ingram to me has improved. He's sometimes you got to get out of the umbrella of LeBron to show what you can do, because it's
Right.
so easy. If you can't play as good as the best player, it's easy to defer to that player, as opposed to you know, wielding your way to enhance yourself. But
Yeah.
I just think he's too light. He's too lightweight. So when he started getting into the Rudy Gobert's, those Karl Anthony Towns, those big guys with a little girth on them, that's where the problems
Yeah.
come. So that's where Zion has to make up for that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But right now I think the Pelicans, they're more talented, but they're young. But so
So
far they're playing some outstanding basketball.
so the Lakers down 3-1. I Denver going home. I think Denver puts the crush on them.
I think that too. I was talking to some guys at work today. We was having this discussion about it, and of course, they asked me because I'm a Lakers fan, And I told him, I said, well, if Jamal Murray is not 100%, they may have a chance to take it to at least 6 or 7. They have a chance because
Yeah. That's true.
because I think Jamal Murray is the engine that makes everything run. But on the other hand, that's when Jokic turns into point center, because
Good point. Yeah.
Anthony Davis has played outstanding, but he's still, but Jokic is
He
still
is.
giving him that work. So
Yeah.
I don't think that the Lakers, um, I don't think the Lakers are going to win this series, but they have a chance to extend it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean LeBron and AD, they've played good. It's just been a little bit too much. The Nuggets are just a little bit much. The Celtics and the Heat, I mean, they're at where I thought they would be at. I mean,
Mhm.
uh, Jimmy Bucket, they're playing their hearts out. But you made this comment, and this is totally true. Next year, if Miami needs to spend some money,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We can do this whole money ball basketball and get to the playoffs because they are getting to the playoffs, and you know what I mean. And they have made, but that's it. That's all we're doing. We need, they need, and I hate that for Jimmy because Jimmy Butler's a bad man, man. He's a
Yeah.
bad man, and I would love to see him to get somebody or a couple people to get him into a ring. I don't know. It's just, but I'm not surprised at the series where it's at. Like you said, the Lakers. We'll see on the 3-1 um, down. Let me see here. Hold on. I want to make sure I covered. All right. So now we got the Knicks. Basketball's back in New York City.
Woo.
The Knicks
And,
are.
and, and apparently in Detroit too. I mean, not in in Philadelphia too.
Let me explain something though. If y'all have ever been on the East Coast, they're so close. Of course, you're going to
Yes,
have different. I mean, it's not like it'd be one thing
not
if,
hard.
if he was playing in New Orleans, or if they were playing in Philly and they were playing New Orleans and the crowd was mostly New Orleans. That would be something. But it's not that
Right.
far fetched to go. There was a lot of New York fans in the Philly house. That's not that far fetched. I mean, he
Yeah,
was all
it's
uh,
because it's like an hour train ride.
something. Yeah, it's not enough to really go. Wow, you made the travel. But this series is. I mean, if when New York closes this out, I think there'll be a lot of questions asked of Philly, like where are we going, what are we doing, um,
Mhm.
where are we headed,
Right.
need some help,
Oh,
and the Knicks,
right. The Knicks are there now, and because there was talk on the internet about, well, maybe KD will go to New York. New York doesn't have enough. See, the thing about KD now is he just got to do it for the ring. You got to say screw the money. I got all the money I can make. Made enough money. Now it's time
right?
for me to get some more hardware. And that means
Yeah,
that you'll go to a team and say, pay me whatever, you know, pay me what you can pay me, and then I'm gonna go play. That's the
I
only
agree
way
with you.
that's gonna happen. That's the only way that's gonna. But he's, um, now their head coach might he might fall on the sword for that, but the
Right,
front office screwed Phoenix. But like I say, we're talking about New York, Philly. Um, I just need Embiid. Just sometimes I wish Embiid was more like Jokic, to where yes, you can be a point center on the court, but sometimes you got to just play center and just get, just you just got to get ugly in there and show your dominance, knock some people around because he's a
right,
big guy, but he plays like a small forward sometimes.
right.
And I need him to play. I need him to be a center. You can still utilize your jumper. Utilize the tools you have because he's got a good shot. He's got a good mid-range shot, which works for him. But I need you to get in there and you got to get in there and rough it up sometimes. show your dominance, you know. And I think people play against, you know, and people play him like, you know, they're not playing him like he's a big guy, you know. So if I just need him to dominate some because that's what they're going to need to win. Philly's not going nowhere if Embiid doesn't say, okay, this is my game, and just takes it over and show everybody, hey, this is me. But you know, we'll see what's going on with that.
So a lot of that now. This week is the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. As always, it's a big field. Fierceness is the favorite, 5-2. Sierra Leone is 3-1. Catching Freedom is 8-1. When you bet, so going for the Derby, the whole Derby thing is the day. You know what I mean? It's a day you spend at the track. You enjoy yourself. You eat the big hot dog. You smoke a cigar. You're making bets.
Right.
On the Derby, with the field being so big, anything has happened. We've seen upsets. I mean, we've seen long shots. Pick you a couple horses. I usually do I usually pick a couple horses, and then I do a trifecta. You can do a dollar trifecta, straight. And the reason why I say straight, it pays the most.
Okay.
You know, a couple of your numbers. I always play one of my. I'll look at some stuff, but I always play 716. I'm from Buffalo. Play 716. Maybe play a 318. Again, we're just picking numbers at that point, but you can do some research. This field is massive. It's 20 horses coming down. There'll be a lot of bumping and grinding, and there's a lot of things can happen, and that's what makes the Derby so. Now, later on with the Preakness and the Belmont, it kind of gets a little thinner because the fields get a little bit smaller, or a lot smaller. So just have a good time with it. Pick you some numbers. Do some research. There's a horse from the one Louisiana Championship in there. Catching Freedom's kind of a hot horse. Like I said, there's Forever Young is like a 10-1. There's a bunch of 30-1s. I mean, all these horses are top notch, but like I said, there's always going to be favorites. So another Tuesday night in the books on KHAM Radio. I want to thank everybody and Lou with KHAM Radio, our KHAM Radio family who makes it all possible. Like I said, go check out KHAM Radio, khamradio.com. Press play. 24 hours a day of great programming, including our show. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week on Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Tony G, Big Lou on KHAM Radio, where we go ham.